Welcome, young Skywalker. I have been expecting you.
What is up, my fellow collectors? It's your boy, the one and only, the Paradox Nerd, back again with another Hot Toys review, and today I'll be reviewing the Hot Toys MMS 468 Emperor Palpatine Deluxe version from the Return of the Jedi movie. It is time to fulfill my destiny and do an epic review of Emperor Palpatine. And I'm going to tell you guys right off the bat, this figure is a must-have for any Star Wars fan. Emperor Palpatine was probably like the missing link to my collection. Basically, I have Darth Vader, I have the Royal Guards, I have Stormtroopers, I have Luke Skywalker. All I'm missing is Emperor Palpatine on the throne. And I finally get to recreate the scene from the Return of the Jedi movie, and that is the throne room scene. And that throne room scene was probably one of my favorite scenes from the old trilogy. And I have to say, you know, when Luke Skywalker finally faces his father, you know, and Emperor Palpatine, it was just one of those, you know, suspenseful moments, you know, in Star Wars history, you know, because you have Emperor Palpatine basically trying to seduce Luke Skywalker into the dark side. But, you know, Luke Skywalker resisted the urge to go to the dark side. He threw his lightsaber down to Emperor Palpatine. Emperor Palpatine starts force electrocuting him, and you have Darth Vader redeeming himself and killing the Emperor. It was such an emotional scene, and you know, to recreate that is such an awesome feeling. Enough rambling, let's get to the review, starting off with the packaging. As you can see, the packaging for Emperor on the Throne is huge. And I just want to start off by saying that really nothing special with the packaging, just your basic Star Wars theme, black and gray packaging with a picture of Emperor on his throne in the front. Here's the back of the packaging with just your basic information and warnings in regards to the figure. And here's the side of the packaging. I kind of just want to show you how big this packaging is. So the packaging is a slipcover style packaging, and if you slip the cover up, you have the figure right underneath. And in the back of the packaging, you get a picture of Emperor standing in front of his throne. And the next thing I'd like to take a look at is the articulation. And I'm going to be really quick with this because he really doesn't have any clothing or armor that would restrict him from having poor articulation. So I'm going to start off with the neck. As you can see, you can turn his head from side to side. His head is in a ball joint. You just can't bring his head all the way back. I mean, why would you? Because most of the time he was kind of like hunched down, you know, because he is an old guy. So really not necessary to bring his head all the way back. Moving on to the shoulders, you can see you can bring his arm just about 90 degrees. No restriction there. Bring his arm forward just about 90 degrees or close to 90 degrees. You could bring his arm back just about 45 degrees. His elbows are double jointed, so you could bring his elbows way past 90 degrees. And as for the wrist joints, really articulated, no restriction there. Next is his torso, and he's got good articulation there, no restriction. So you could kind of achieve that natural sitting pose in his throne. Next is the hip joints, and you could bring his hip out just about 45 degrees. You can bring it forward just about 90 degrees and bring it back just about 10 degrees. His knees are double jointed, so you can definitely bend his knees way past 90 degrees, but you just got to be careful of his pants because they are kind of tight around his leg area. Next is the ankle joints. As you can see, you can bring it forward just about 20 to 30 degrees. Bring it back also around 20 to 30 degrees. You could bring his ankle from side to side just about 10 to 20 degrees. And here is the head sculpt of Emperor Palpatine. And let me tell you, Hot Toys did a phenomenal job with this head sculpt. I mean, take a look at the wrinkles on his in his forehead. I mean, that just looks pretty disgusting, to be honest. And let me do a side profile of his head. As you can see, the likeness is definitely there. It looks like they try to combine the face sculpt of Emperor Palpatine in Return of the Jedi movie and the hair sculpt from the prequels of Chancellor Palpatine. And in the Return of the Jedi, he never took his hood off, so you never knew what was underneath that hood. And for Hot Toys to kind of recreate that by combining both the head sculpt from the prequels and the head sculpt from the original trilogy, and just this is your final product, man, they definitely hit a home run with this head sculpt. And this is where Hot Toys definitely shines. I am speechless right now in how this head sculpt turned out. And this is probably one of the best head sculpts this year. Whoever gets this in hand will definitely be happy in how this head sculpt turned out. And here he is with his hood on, and I'm telling you guys, this just reeks Sith Lord. Alright, so let's take a closer look at the detail and the materials used for this figure. Now, Hot Toys did a great job with the tailoring and the stitching on this robe. Let's start off with the hood. As you can see, they did a really good job putting this kind of wire around his hood, so when you pose it in a certain kind of pose, it actually stays. So that looks pretty good. Now, moving on to the rest of the robe, as you can see, Hot Toys did a really good job with the tailoring and the stitching around his sleeves here. So definitely recreating that same look he had in the movie, where his sleeves were kind of like hanging low. Now, moving on to the materials used for the robe, the outside feels kind of cheap, but you know, really not picky about it. The inside definitely feels soft, really good material. And as for the tunic inside, this one feels really good quality materials that they used for the tunic. And underneath the tunic is some stretch pants. And moving on to the boots feel like more of a suede kind of material. Really feels good, doesn't feel cheap at all, so really impressed with that. And here is a closer look at the throne. And I'm going to start off by saying that the throne is not made of any kind of die cast or metal material. It is mostly plastic. But for a plastic chair, it is pretty heavy actually. And here's a side view of it. I kind of wish they made this out of die cast material, but I'm sure by doing so will definitely bump up the price significantly, to be honest. So I'm pretty content with them going plastic with the throne. So pretty cool. As you can see, the panels here, they do light up, and I'm going to show you in just a second where to turn on the switch. And underneath the throne is the switch to turn on the light up features. And just a quick heads up, it does not come with any batteries, so you would need 2 AAA batteries to turn on the lights for this throne. So just switch the lights on. As you can see, there are overhead lights on top of his throne, and his panels on the sides do light up, so which is pretty cool. Okay, so besides the throne, here are the rest of the accessories that come with Emperor Palpatine. You get a pair of Force Lightning gesturing hands, 2 right gesturing hands, his cane, Luke Skywalker's lightsaber, 2 Force Lightning effects, and the base. And that's it. Okay, so let's take a closer look at the Force Lightning gesturing hands. As you can see, really cool detail. You can see the veins popping out, the wrinkles on his fingers and on top of his hands. And same with the wrinkles on his palm. Really cool detail. And here's a closer look at the 2 right gesturing hands. So really cool detail again. And here is his cane. As you can see, a really glossy finish on his cane, so really cool. Here's a closer look at Luke Skywalker's hilt. Pretty cool. Okay, let's take a closer look at one of the Force Lightning effects. As you can see, it starts off as white and clear, and towards the end turns purple, which is really cool. And here is the base. with his nameplate in the front. So here are my final thoughts for Emperor Palpatine Deluxe version. This is a must-have for any Star Wars Hot Toys collector out there. Now, if you are on the fence between the regular and the deluxe version, definitely pick up the deluxe version. You won't regret it. And especially with Hot Toys, once they sell out of a figure, you know, especially like a deluxe version, it is very hard to get. And the secondary market is very ruthless in terms of pricing. Just don't put yourself in that situation where you pick up the regular version and next you know you want the deluxe version and it is sold out on Sideshow, and you're hunting on eBay and everyone has the deluxe version priced really high. So in my opinion, it is easy to downgrade rather to upgrade. So definitely just pick up the deluxe version. If you don't like it, you know, I'm sure it'll be easy for you to sell it. So with that being said, this figure turned out beautiful and I really love the head sculpt on Palpatine. I think it is one of the best head sculpts Hot Toys has done this year, so I am really impressed. Okay guys, before I end this video, I just want to give you guys a quick update on what videos are coming up. I do have my giveaway video that should be coming up in the next couple days or so. It took me a while to receive the actual giveaway prize in hand, so I just received it and I'll be filming that video soon and I'll post that video probably after New York Comic Con. But that wraps up my video, guys. Thank you guys again, and remember, doesn't matter what you collect, collecting is collecting, and go and buy this deluxe version of Emperor Palpatine as soon as this video is over. Take care guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Young fool. Only now, at the end, do you understand? Your feeble skills are no match for the power of the dark side.